live show.
Tom, hey. I know she's following me up. Big boss man shit. Yeah.
I've been telling me in different roles. Me and bro, we switching roles. Hit her with a pick and roll. Tell her just to play a role. I ain't trying to take it slow. Playing on me like you're low.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Ep.
And it's your boy, Ade.
And welcome back to another
episode of Boss Talks.
I ain't gonna lie, I apologize, guys. It's my fault that we missed last week's episode. I'm not gonna put the blame on myself.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put the blame on y'all. Because y'all not doing what y'all need to do as our supporters.
He's projecting.
Y'all gotta show us and tell us exactly what y'all want us to talk about so we can give y'all that great content that keeps you entertained and keeping the conversations flowing.
So it sounds like they're not leaving nothing under your post.
Y'all gotta do better.
Facts.
Y'all gotta do better.
So besides that, we back here with our brother.
Our boy Zay. He
You
back
already
with
know.
another one.
And then,
The boy Quan, EBSL, co-CEO, my boy Zay, my brother.
Besides that, let's get right into it. I think this is a very serious topic. This is a topic that is not spoken enough about, especially because we are a panel of men. Black men at that. You feel me? Black is beautiful. Ladies, what are y'all doing if y'all don't have a black man? Real shit. But besides that, this is a truly a serious topic that I take very seriously because our mental health is something that is not catered to. And the topic today is lack of attention on men's mental health.
yes, that's a very serious topic, guys. We're going to be in one of those podcasts where we're actually going to have a serious conversation and not too many jokes this episode. So for the first question, why do you think why is nobody paying attention to men's mental health? Why is nobody paying attention to men's mental health?
Quan.
The way I see it is, I feel like nobody really pays attention to it because of the way that men are brought up, or just males in general are brought up. They've always been taught to be tough, to just take everything to the chin, just let everything go, just eat it. You know, be a man. But yeah, pause. Whatever problem you got, just deal with it.
Oh, sorry, it's not supposed to be for y'all. This is very serious.
Basically, just whatever problem you got, you just gotta deal with it. You can't really talk to nobody about it. If you cry, you seem like a punk. It's not right, because when it comes to other people, I don't want to say everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't want to make everything controversial and just try to like point the finger. That's not what it is that I'm trying to do. It's just more or less what's being catered to more, because there's a lot of suicide rates in men and black men in general, mainly because of their mental health. I've seen 2 posts within this month alone that two of my friends' friends they committed suicide, and he wasn't right in the head. They didn't speak out to nobody because they felt they had to keep everything inside.
Did you guys know that men are leading all suicides in the world?
I'm not surprised.
I'm
not surprised.
Yeah. So this is definitely an important topic that we gotta touch up upon, so people are more aware of what's going on. Zay, what do you think?
Basically said everything, but to add on to that is like, it's definitely how we was raised and just the stigma behind men just being men. You gotta just be tough. You're not allowed to feel or emote. You gotta really just bottle it in, hold everything together, and just whatever you're going through, you just gotta keep that straight face, you basically gotta put on a front as if you're not going through nothing. Even if you're going through, you gotta put on a front for the world.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, because men are supposed to be strong, or supposed to be stoic, and you know, so it's hard for this. I think it's hard for especially and then like black men too.
Not to cut you off, but there's also instances of men where we actually do reach out and we do talk to other people about it. Yeah. But since men's mental health is so looked over, it's just like whatever. Yeah, people will listen to your problems and treat your problems like it's nothing.
Not even that. You actually get laughed at.
You get laughed at, or somebody's going to try to overshadow you with their own issues, and not even really try to pay attention or listen to what you have to say.
Because men, we're supposed to be natural born leaders. We're supposed to be the ones that are solid for our women. So if we be emotional in any type of way, it's just like you're supposed to be a man, and that's just the stigma. That's just the stigma behind it.
And honestly, sadly to say, just to push it another step forward, especially if we're just looking at how black men are looked at to carry the burden of taking their family to that next level, and if you don't do it, you are a failure. And it's sad to say, but if the women of our culture, even not in our culture alone, but the women looking at us as black men, look at and they say, you're supposed to be better than every other man. Even though we've gone through the most and we're still going through a lot. I won't say our problems are more important than any of other races, men. But the stigma and the weight we have to shoulder to show that we are a man, it's not helping or benefiting a man or a true leader. Because it's putting more weight and more of a burden on that man's head instead of showing him I can do this, I can lead my family the right way. And that my family will look at me and support me. But in a lot of sad cases, men don't have that support. They're looked at, and if you don't, or if you complain, or if you open your mouth and not get the work done, you're wasting our time. And that's the shame. That's the sad part.
That's the tough part about it.
And we can say that for every man of every race. Like that's the same. That's the very same.
No, that's facts. I feel if what men burden a lot is, I don't even know the word to say it, but they carry a lot on their shoulders. And like you said, when it comes to family, they really do carry a lot on their shoulders, because if you're thinking about it in just any household, you have your mom that kind of really pushes you to go through school. If you have a father that's into sports, he's going to push you to sports. You feel like either one of those, the one word that no kid is going to want to hear growing up is that their parents are disappointed in them.
Yeah, that's a fact. I think any human being, yeah, nobody.
So to hear that, and even to know that you are trying your best, and to hear the words disappointment, that's gonna crush you.
But I'll take it even another step further. Nobody would want to hear I'm disappointed, right?
Sure.
But if we looked at just on a male and female standpoint of things, a man will say you disappoint me, or a child or a boy will be told I'm disappointed in you because you weren't supposed to act like that. You showed too much emotion. You're supposed to hold a stern standstill when dealing with things. Why are you crying? Get up. Boys don't do that. But girls, come, let me hear what you got to say. But that's why the world it coddles more. I won't say women have it better, but the world, everybody in the world coddles more to how a woman feels compared to if a man is feeling some type of way. Because if it's not co-aligning, you're wasting everybody's time. Like I said, like that's just the point blank period, and that's the sad part about why men's mental health is looked over. What you think, Ade?
I feel like we should play devil's advocate. I feel like we're agreeing too much with each other.
But this is a serious topic that needs to be said. Let me hear this though.
I feel like men are supposed to have those roles though. Like we're supposed to have a heavy weight on our shoulders. That's what it is to be a man. Okay. But I feel like we should have somewhere to go to. That's going to be one of our later questions in the podcast. But we should have somewhere to go to look back and say, okay, we're going through a lot. We're struggling with what we have to deal with as a man. Like I said, but where do we go to when that burden gets too much on us? You know what I'm saying? That's where nobody cares about where we go to after.
So now
the pressure's too much.
I have a rebuttal for that. I like where you went with that. So a man is supposed to carry that shoulder or that burden or that weight on his shoulder. So what I'll say now is, even if a man, let's say, is not getting the support they want at home, even if they're carrying that support, right? Is it that man's fault for not looking for, let's say, a therapist to give that weight to talk to? Or is that what we're saying?
No,
because that's
looked at as weak.
But that's
looked at as being weak.
That's what I'm saying. It's like at what extent are we making excuses?
But that option is there for us though. So we need to make it like more acceptable.
But the outlet is judged.
It is judged.
But there's a lot of men also that are prideful. There are a lot of men that feel like, yo, I can deal with this shit by myself because I've already been dealing with it by myself. Mm-hmm. So what do I need a therapist for?
I feel like that's deep-rooted trauma though. Why do we feel like that? That we don't need a therapist?
That's a good question.
Why do we care so much about other people's opinion about us?
But it's almost, that's what I said, like the outlet that we have, which is therapy, is judged. Like, like, you almost would kind of, that's why I said, like, you kind of get made fun of for having a therapist. Like, you tell someone, yo, I go to therapy 2 times a week to, help with my mental health or whatever.
They'll look at you some type of way.
Like, yo, you weak. You need a therapist. You know what I mean? So, I think that's the problem.
Everybody needs therapy. You may not need to go to, let's say, a professional to seek that therapy, but you need somebody there that it will, you can confide in. And that's somebody that's not going to judge you. Like, at least somebody that you can speak to.
You need a safe place.
And I think that's what's lacking nowadays. that safe space, because a lot of men, they may go to like their significant other and tell them about their problems, but that's right in their face. Like, I want to hear that. You listen to me about my problem first.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's that. Or if they hear something about it, they gonna throw it back in their
That's what I
face.
was just about to say. Like, they'll use it against you.
Yeah.
I think honestly, and maybe this is controversial, but I think you should almost never do that. Like, go back to. I think so. I think it's never been a time where it's like, unless it's never been a time where it hasn't been thrown back in your face. Like, over time, like just as time passes, they eventually will, bro. I think more so.
I can't say that. I think you're looking at it too simple.
I think more so we should be going to each other.
You're talking about relationship wise?
Yeah, like I think preferably, like I think you should be going to like a group of men,
Brothers,
your brothers.
People that
Okay,
brothers.
I get it.
Instead of going to your girl,
understand.
because you
Let's
go
not
to
go too deep into. We answer one
You
of
know
the
what I'm
later
saying?
questions.
Like-
That's gonna be one of the later questions.
you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Next question.
Now, yeah, let's move on. All right, since I brought it up, talking about whose life is hard, and I would ask you guys back at home, like, look, you got female viewers, you got male viewers. Some people see the world differently. Some people go through the world differently, and they have different experiences that may make their life harder than the next. But I would ask you guys, whose life is harder? And just a general scheme of things. Let's hit that first.
The man or the woman?
First thing I would say is, so nobody don't kill me. Both genders' life is hard. That's the first thing.
Disclaimer.
I don't want
Disclaimer.
I don't want nobody chasing me home, you know what? But both people's life is hard, both genders. But I would say men have it harder because I think like women are more, like you said, women are a little bit more coddled and they're more like able to be emotional. And then I would say with men is like you almost not really loved or valued unless you like provide something to some extent. So, and I strongly believe that. I think that would make it harder for us.
You're saying if men bring nothing to the table, then they're not valued at all.
Maybe unless it's like a close family member.
That is-
I'm saying like to the outside world though, I think
Yeah.
you have to.
That's true. In most cases, that is true. If a man can't bring nothing to the table for anything, when it comes to friendships, relationships, family, they're not necessarily valued.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, is that really a bad thing though? It's like nobody wants somebody that's gonna be dead weight.
No, I'm just saying,
absolutely
but
right.
you don't have to go through that.
But
That's
there's
true.
some there's
But
women
I
in this
won't say
world-
that. I won't say that.
You think so?
Because to play advocate, there's women that go through their own struggles in life. Like for women, their side of things is if you're not appealing to some extent on a level of whatever metric,
I get that.
you are the dirt beneath my feet. And that's for a lot of men. I won't say all men, but for a lot of men, even majority men, even the men that's at the bottom feeders, they're seeking a certain type of woman. They're not looking at somebody
Yeah,
you feel me?
The way I see it, I don't think anybody's life is harder. I just think that both genders have their own struggles, and it's at a disadvantage for both of them. You have men, it's just how they're valued and what they have to do in order to be seen in some sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
With women, with many women today, it's mainly about their appearance. They will change their appearance so many times. They will worry about their appearance so much that just becomes their personality.
So pros and cons of both.
It's pros and cons to both. So, and there's a lot of stuff that women dealt with growing up that made their lives hard as well. Same thing for men. There's a lot of things that they dealt with growing up made their lives hard, and it's only ways that you can identify between both genders. There's only way that each gender can relate to it.
I like that answer. Quan, he found a way around the
That's
track
good.
that we try to
He
say.
found the question.
That's good.
He found a way around the track.
He
So that's what y'all gotta do. Y'all gotta be able to rebut
I tried to put a little
that
disclaimer.
question.
Yeah.
I think that's the right answer.
That
I
is
think
good.
everybody's life is hard. I think it's unfair to put a certain metric on,
Right.
especially because we as men don't even live the same life. I mean, each of us have a different life compared to somebody that may be even working for less than $10. They're like, we can't even imagine the life of somebody that's in a third world country. So it's like it's unfair to say like that because the women in them third world countries is going through it worse. a lot worse than we can even imagine.
Yeah.
So
I feel like so let's make the scenario even then. Like,
all right,
middle class man, woman, brought up in the same neighborhood, who got it easier? Like we're just throwing away aside the lower class people and the people in the third world countries. Middle class man, middle class woman, brought up in the same neighborhood, same race, same everything.
Does that woman look good though?
Average. Let's say they're
And
seven.
they both average.
That's above average. Average
okay,
is 5.
5, 6, whatever you want
If
to
she's
call
6,
average.
she's still above average.
Okay.
That's a
All right,
that's
they
a
both
benefit.
okay. All right, whatever average is to you.
Because I'm saying, the only reason I say that is because an average man will be a nothing.
Okay,
That's
that's the question. You answered the question.
That's why.
Okay, so let's say the answer. Average man, average woman, both middle class, same race. Who got it easier? Who got it harder? Because we being around the bush too much.
Women have it easier.
Women got it easier.
Women might have it. Yeah.
So
that answers the question.
That
answers the question.
If you even the playing field, yeah,
It's women.
And we have to be at least honest about that. That's why we have these conversations. And it's not to say that just because you had it easier, your life was great. I mean, you may have your own problems, but at the end of the day, the general scheme of things is compared to an average man, the world comforts in college. But we love women.
We love y'all for
We
real.
love, yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
let
be-
you
we
answer
love
that
all
question.
women.
We don't hate women over here.
So you get out of
Boss
this
sauce,
shit.
boss made EBSL. We do
I
not
just
hate
want to bring
women.
attention
We
to
do
mental
not-
We
health.
love women.
We're just talking about men's mental health.
Yeah.
It's not even against women.
I mean, women's mental health is very serious. You may have a panel with some mothers talking about postpartum, but right now, it's
but we
we're
just
talking
have to
about
keep
the men
That's
today.
actually very
Nah,
We
serious.
just have to keep us
That's actually very serious.
Nah, but today
Yes.
we're gonna talk about the men. If y'all want to hear about postpartum pregnancies and what women go through, comment that below.
Yeah.
I'll let you ask the next question.
Next question is, who do men turn to when they need help the most? I think
You.
we already
Like,
dabbed
put
into it
yourself in that
before.
question.
Yeah, we already dabbed into it before with like the therapists and stuff. But who should men turn to when they
Let's
need
put
help the
ourselves
most?
in that answer.
Like who do you?
should
Who
we-
is Zay?
should we
Who
turn
does
to?
who does Zay
Who
turn
would
to?
you?
Like, yeah, who
Would I turn to?
No, y'all give me some time. I gotta think about it. Actually.
Alright.
Who do I turn to, or who should I like?
I mean, both. Who do you and
I
who would
turn
you, or who should you?
to? This is bad, but I'll be honest. I mainly don't be turned to nobody. Like but I would rather like go through it by myself, honestly. And that's probably not the right thing to do. But if I'm being honest, I'll just like go through it by myself. I don't like to burden people with my problems, like so. If I'm going through something, yeah, I got my bros that I could, talk to, vent to, but most times I'll go through it by myself. I don't think that's a good thing, though. I don't think I'm not telling everybody to do that, but I'm just saying if I'm being honest, that's something I do.
That's you and most men, bro.
That's
You and most men in the world.
I confide in myself, and if I feel like it's too much, I actually go to my friends and I just have a talk with them, let them know what's going on. I don't get too deep into it, but I do enough to at least alleviate some of the pressure that I'm feeling.
100%.
Because I'm not gonna, because I can explain everything to you how I'm feeling, but it's not gonna make me feel any better. So I just have to do what I have to do to, like I said, at least alleviate some sort of pressure to keep going.
Me personally, I feel like how I ease myself in those type of situations is if I talk about it with my friends, I know that they've gone through something similar. It makes me feel easier. And I'm not the only one. You can relate with your bros.
relate with them.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I'm not the only one that's going through this. It makes it easier on me. And then if they've went through a similar situation and they've gone past it, they can give me tips on how they got past that type of situation. So
It's sad to say, but for me, honestly, I find myself, no matter how often or how many times I may say that, yes, I need to open up, especially to my friends, because I chose my friends for a reason. Like, we all have our friends, whether for the good or the bad. For me, we understand their bad qualities, but we understand the good qualities outweigh the bad. I know that I should confide in my friends because those are people that I can at least match a mental wavelength with. But I see myself going through the problem, figuring out the solution, months going by, and then I bring it up as a joke.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to bring attention to my problems.
No, yeah. You handle it yourself.
But that's the problem.
That's what I was saying.
And that's the thing is,
and it's similar because it's like all four of us. Well,
I did.
I did.
Yeah.
There you go. So less than you because you say you actually confided in your friends that went through similar. I don't want to say tragedies, but just similar situations.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly for us three, we usually either just dealt with it ourselves or confided it in ourselves, and like just as time passed, just got over it.
But to do some self-reflection, I understand that by us doing that, it is us showing that not only has society's metric of how a man should be not been engraved into our minds and our subconscious, but it's also been engraved in the way we carry ourselves. No matter if we show like our true feelings and our true selves to our friends, we don't want to be looked at as a weak man in our friend group, especially if it's a group full of men, and that's the problem. That's why men's mental health is looked down upon nowadays, because it first starts with us internally. Us as men, we don't want to look like weak. We don't want to look like that weak link in that men's group.
But I've been in.
But are those really your friends though? If your friends are going to be looking at you some type of way like that?
Of course, you don't want to think that, but that's not something that's not like, it's still in your subconscious. That's why you still like, you try to burden stuff on your shoulders, or you try to carry stuff on your shoulders.
No, yeah, it's going to be the facts are the facts. If you're going through something like that, everybody goes through things like that. We're not all perfect. So as a friend, your duty is to build them up past that situation.
That's right. That's facts.
Like, we've all been at low points in our lives. Right. None of us are perfect. So as long as you understand that, you can't just look at somebody and be like, "Oh, you weak."
But that was, to me, that was almost like
you have a very optimistic mind.
That was, but like in the point of the like the topic and shit, like I think it was that's the problem. We can't do it. Like even when we want to, I think not with everybody, not probably with us personally, but I'm saying it's like it's times where it's like
you don't want to show your sleeve off too much.
It's no, but it
expose yourself.
It's like I may want to go to you. But then I'm like, damn, but if he knew this, that, and the third, he'd look at me different, and our friendship would be different. And I think that's what it is. It's like you have to keep up this image as a
That's called a facade.
Yeah, you got to keep up this image because it's like I can't.
That's the word of the day. Yeah. A facade, y'all.
You can't. You got to keep up an image to be a manly man, like how it's. You know what I mean?
And
so basically, as a man, we can't be ourselves. That's what you're trying to say.
I would even take another step forward.
That's a problem.
What is a definition of a man? You said before, a definition of a man is somebody that's spoken, carries the burden on their shoulders.
Provides.
That's basically what Zay's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he should be exposing himself to his brothers, to people that he can trust with his life, that's not his first reaction to things. And that's where we have to change. That's what us as a collective, not only men, but women, everybody, because if the man is weak, the family is weak. Women want a strong man in the family. For them to have a strong man,
I don't feel like that's being weak though.
You know, it's
having like moments that you're down. That's not being weak.
But I'm not saying having moments that you're down. I'm saying having moments that you want to shoulder it all by yourself. Not looking for that help that you say you want. That you
looking for that help
that you need
is considerably weak. Other people are gonna look at you. The other people are gonna see you weak because you're looking for help to go through a problem that, as a man, they expect you to do it.
That's basically what I'm saying.
That's really getting technical because it depends on what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? It really
that's not fair though. Regardless,
right.
It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that.
It depends how
the
severity of the situation.
I should just randomly be like, man, I'm feeling wild depressed for whatever reason. Let me go talk to somebody about this. Why I feel like this. I can't necessarily do that. Well, most men, they can't necessarily do that. They have to sit there and just be like, damn, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Let me just sit here and wait for the depression to go away. Women can't do that. They could go to whoever, whenever.
I don't understand that logic though, because as men, we know how hard our lives are. Yeah, we know how what we be going through.
But
so it's like, how can you look at somebody else that type of way, knowing what we have to go through?
And that brings it back to the first question, and the first subtopic of the topic. How we was raised.
That's what I'm saying. True. Like the image you have to keep up.
True.
It's like you got to keep this. Yo, man is stoic, strong, don't cry. So you got to keep that. Like it's like you're trying to keep up with that. Basically, that's what's stopping you from being open because you're trying to keep up with it.
I feel like we should just all have that awareness in our minds that nobody's gonna be stoic 24/7. There's gonna be times where it becomes overwhelming. And the pressure gets too much.
No, of course.
But pressure makes diamonds.
That's
so
my thing.
As long as we get past it, then.
But that's my thing. Everybody knows that. It's good to say, but we understand that men's mental health has been something that has been glossed over for decades, maybe centuries, maybe thousands of years. I mean, it doesn't change. It's the fact that we're trying to bring awareness for now. So it needs to be spoken about. We know this, but if we can't speak about it in our own friend groups, with other men, and then have that conversation spread to now women speaking about it as well, speaking about it for their brothers or their husbands or their fathers, how are we ever supposed to change that image of what we think a man is? It doesn't just, it starts with us, but it doesn't end with us.
Yeah.
But for me, just so we're not going off on a tangent, you want to ask this? We want me to ask this last one.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll ask you guys as well. Women, if you want to answer it, I don't care. You hear me? I don't care. As you grow older, does your mental health improve with the world's support, or do you feel you need to shoulder the burden yourself?
Can you say that one more time?
As you grow older, does your mental health improve with the world's support, or do you feel you need to shoulder the burden yourself?
I feel like as you grow older, it gets even worse because you're an older man. You're gonna be looked at as even weaker if you have. Imagine, bro. It sounds messed up to say, but imagine seeing like a 40-year-old grown man just like sitting there bawling his eyes out crying. It's gonna look some type of way. Not knowing what he's going through. Like he could, like, God forbid, like something crazy happens and like his wife could have just died. You don't know. It just looks. But that's just the. That's the stigma of society. It just looks wrong. But you don't know what could have happened. Like.
It's like no sympathy already.
Yeah, there's no sympathy.
There's no sympathy, no empathy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that will walk by him, but it's a 1 in 100 chance that somebody's gonna go up to him. I would say that there's a 1 in 100 chance that somebody's gonna go up to him and figure out what's wrong.
Yeah.
So it's not that everybody's
to
gonna
even
go
find that though
to pass him, but it's less likely that somebody will go to him if he is just sitting there crying.
And to go a step further, it's even less likely to even catch a 40-year-old dude just crying outside like that because he would bottle it in or just do it behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's even like, when's the last time you seen that? Yeah. Right? I'm not gonna lie. When's the last time you seen that?
I've had.
Can't even recall.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
we gotta do that behind closed doors when nobody's, like that's what I mean.
We see women crying in public all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
All the time.
It's a perfect example. I have a coworker. I don't mean to speak about his business. Perfect example.
No, you don't say that.
No, of course not. I have a coworker and he had recently lost his mother.
Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, I sent my condolences. Rest in peace. And he recently buried her this weekend on Saturday. And he missed a couple days of work when she had passed. And then I saw him today. My first time seeing him in a minute because, excuse me, because as I work, I go to different trucks, so I'm seeing a different team of people every day. So when I finally see him, I'm like, yo, like, how you been? So when he told me that he had recently buried her, I was like, damn, like, how you doing? And the way that he was just, I'm so familiar with the look because it's like, you can see that he's hurt, but he's definitely masking his pain. He's just masking his pain. He was just like, nah, I've been getting through it and doing what he got to do. And he was definitely voicing how he felt. He was just like, he misses her. He wishes she was still here. And me not even knowing where he went, not even relating to what he goes through or went through, I was still there to kind of like at least encourage him, at least try to keep him going. Because any death in the family, regardless if it's your mom, your father, your aunt, your cousin, don't matter who, it's still hard. And that's stuff that you're never going to get over. So even though that is something that you're going to weigh on heavy and that's going to eat at your brain heavy and your heart heavy, you're just going to keep needing words of motivation to keep yourself moving, no matter who it's from. Whether it be a coworker or a stranger in the street.
So I'll
say that 1 in 100.
No, I'll take it a step further. You showed him that the world is not what it portrays itself to be. You are at least the light in the world, and especially in the times of darkness that he may be enshrouded in. You're giving him that light to see that there's still hope in this world. There's still people that care at least about how I feel. Speaking in terms of him, that care about how my mental is. Because sometimes I just don't know how I'm going to get through. That's probably what he was thinking. Yeah. And you gave him that opportunity to say there's still people that care about me, even though there's somebody that I love dearly that I know cared about me is gone. Because that's one thing that, for most times out of not, people have a mother that cared life and death over that.
Of course.
So to lose something like that, that's a man's one of a man's biggest supporters.
That's a man's biggest savior. That's his biggest.
A mother, that's the only unconditional love you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So losing that is.
That's
say
like the worst thing that
Yeah,
happened.
that's really is.
I think that's a solemn or it's a very sad story that you said, but you gave that light at the end that I feel motivated to understand, keep my empathy up for others, to show them that in a world full of darkness, there are still those that care about how you're going through this world, even if they have their own problems. I may have my own problems, but at the end of the day, I do healthcare. I go there trying to help people. So if my smile, even if I'm having a bad day, will help somebody else feel good about themselves. Even if I'm not in the mood, if I missed the lunch and the little girl's trying to say hi, I'm gonna say hi back. I'm not gonna smush this. Get out my way. Like, you feel me? Empathy is still real, and I hope you guys have that at home. Hope y'all got that. That was a very touching story. I appreciate that. I thank Quan for even saying that story. I mean, at the end of the day,
People be going through new experiences, new problems every single day. So how's it going to get better as we get older? I think it's just going to be more and more problems.
but it's fine. We're going to get through it.
Yeah.
We're going to conversate about it. We're going to talk about it, because at the end of the day, this is where the conversations begin. At Boss Talks. And if y'all not subscribed, what are y'all doing? I know y'all not talking with yourselves. Y'all probably on social media. Better subscribe, follow, or share.
On social media,
Like,
you might as well subscribe to Boss Talks.
That's a fact. And follow us on Instagram.
If y'all need somebody to talk to, feel free to hit our DM.
Comment down below what y'all going through. If y'all just want to have conversation.
Yeah, hit the Boss Talks DM. Definitely reply to y'all.
No conversation is too small, and nobody's too big to sit down and have a conversation. But
Everybody's going to do something too. Everybody's going to do something.
Everybody, it goes for women too.
Man or woman.
Man or woman, it don't matter who.
Yeah.
You just need to talk about it and just say how shitty the world was. You can't listen. But we're going to have a conversation about it here at Boss Talks. Let's bring your boy up there.
It's been out there.
It's been our guest, my brother Quan.
Zay and Quan.
Yo.
Boss Talks out here.
I'll ask y'all.
Peace.
Lately I've been thinking what's the better route. Gotta watch at that back door, they try and take